next question, and we'll start with Gloria on this one. What is one thing that distinguishes you from your opponent or opponents that would make people vote for you?
Well, they're laughing at the question, but there's several things. First of all, I have the leadership, I have the experience, I have the dedication, the commitment to be your city council for the 4th District. The experience goes over 15 years as a volunteer with the city, the county, and the state level. And yes, most of it has been with the senior community. I've been a strong advocate for seniors, and I will continue to be a strong advocate for seniors. So I feel that with my background, I am well prepared to take on the role of city council to represent the 4th District.
Okay, thank you. And the same question for Paul. What is one thing that distinguishes you from your opponents that would make people vote for you?
Well, as part of leadership, it's how you approach it. Leadership isn't about what I do, what I accomplish. It's about setting the environment where others can succeed. What other people can do, what your people can do, like in here with the city, what the residents can do, how they succeed. That's how you're evaluated, not what you do. Your job is to sit there and help give them the tools, whatever it needs for them to succeed.
Okay. Okay, Barry. Same question.
What separates me from the other candidates? I've lived in Menifee since 2003. I've raised my family here. I have family here. My mother-in-law's here. My son is here. My wife is here. My nephew is here. My niece-to-be is here. We love Menifee. The council needs to be changed. We need to have more cohesiveness with the members on the council. We need to listen to what the residents have to say. If you're looking for honesty, if you're looking for somebody to work hard for you, that will be honest and answer the questions that you ask me, and I'll give you that. And that's what I'll do for you. Thank you.
Okay, John Denver.
The word is experience. I was a realtor I am a realtor, have been for 40 years, taught school. In amongst that, 10 years, so I'm a teacher. I work with kids. I was on the Parish Union High School District for 17 years, worked with kids. I've been on the school board, on the city council for 8 years, worked with the city. I was involved off and on for 20 years, getting this city to become a city. At that point, we were trying to get Sun City to be a city. Experience. I am involved now in trying to grow this city and work on some projects that are very difficult. That Line A, the mayor and I worked at the first few days of the city, and we started working with developers to get that line built. It was impossible then, and it got worked out now. It took a long time for that to get done. That basically is the difference between me and my opponent, is just a whole lifetime of experience on the city.
First of all, there's 30 meetings in Riverside every year that take a whole day. I spend over 1,000 hours a year working at my only job. I give it 100%. What I don't understand, my 3 components have full-time jobs, spend 2,200 hours a year away from their house. How can they stick another 1,000 hours as the city councilman? Answering questions, all right. I'm available 24/7. I get calls all during the day. These people are going to be at work and they're going to get a message. They're going to have to answer them back in the cell phone, get back to them. That's what you're going to get. You call me, you get my voice.
Okay, Sue.
Please don't concern yourself with my time. I get things done just fine, thank you very much. And by your assertion, you can only be retired or independently wealthy to serve your city. I think that's a wrong sentiment. What differentiates me from my opponents? I have proven experience in this city. I've been on the city council. I believe I'm the only one here who can tout achievements that have actually affected the lives of people in this community in a positive way. I don't do things only for the sake of power or prestige. I do them because I see a need and I work to achieve it. Where there's a problem, I fix it. Where there's a need, I fill it. Is what I do. Everyone here loves the city. That's not something that anyone here is going to say independently and everyone can say, oh, you're the only one who loves the city. It's how you transact that love into what you do in the city that makes a difference, and I think that I rise above in that case.
Matt Niesmeyer. Well, unfortunately, Sue, I take a little bit of offense to that. I like to think that my 5 years on the Planning Commission has amounted for something for the city. However, my background, a lot of people don't know anything about me. One of my first jobs was in the surveying industry. We did parcel maps, grading plans, building plans, all sorts of plans to build new buildings, new infrastructure, new designs. Now I'm the chairman of the Planning Commission, and I'm a general contractor. I've got experience from when you become from dirt to a new building that provides amenities for the public. I like to think that my background in that field will help develop smart growth policies for this city that we can all definitely reap the benefits from. Somebody with my experience is definitely needed on this council.
Okay. And Scott?
For me, listening to some of the answers up here today, it's quite clear the reasons why there are some distinctions between candidates. I think that it's leadership experience. You know, for me, you know, I'm fortunate to have had some elected experience. The voters have supported me. Sometimes the voters have not. But when you're the mayor, you have additional duties. You have to be a regional leader. You have to represent Menifee. You're representing Menifee in Sacramento on lobbying trips. You're representing the city of Menifee on local regional boards and commissions. And you got to have an understanding of how that process works. You have to have an understanding how municipal government works in order to collaborate with your colleagues and give policy direction to staff to execute a budget and make it happen. I think my military experience, my corporate experience, my business experience as a business owner, and my public agency experience as an employee all bring to bear as the mayor of the city, and I think that's why
Okay, that's your time. Thank you. Back to some questions for individuals. For Tom Furman, what are your plans for home-based businesses in the city of Menifee on large properties?
Good question. It actually comes right down to changing the law. Okay, the law that was made many, many years ago was good for housing tracts and type businesses. But there's two components of that ordinance that's got to be changed. All right, the ordinance says you can only have a business inside your house. We have to relax that. We have to relax that and allow people to have businesses in an accessory structure, in their garage, in their barn, outside their home. All right, that is the main crux of a home-based business. What are we going to do on large lots? Are we going to let them, or are we going to not? It's only a decision that has to be made. It's a yes or no answer, is all it is. Do we want this in our city, or don't we? Thank you.
Okay, we have a question for Gloria Sanchez. What is your past business experience that gives you knowledge and experience in dealing with developers and others who may wish to come to our community?
Prior to being retired, I was a small business owner with my husband and my brother-in-law. And we had the business that worked with computer technology, civil engineering, and training. I was able to meet with high-ranking executives of large corporations where we had to sit around, we had to make decisions upon what was the best thing for these corporations to take from our company. So I've had the experience working with large companies many, many times. And what this did was I showed them that I had the leadership that was necessary to run a company. I was able to run this company on my own after my brother-in-law could no longer be with us. But what it showed me and what it showed others is that I was a good leader. I had strong business experience, and I bring that to the table. which help makes good decisions. Thank you.
Okay, question for Paul Wiggins. Regarding traffic congestion, you state in your campaign flyer that infrastructure needs to be in place before the council allows more development. Since a good percentage of funding for these projects comes from developers, are you saying you will increase our taxes to pay for the improvements?
As far as what was the question again? I missed my point there.
Okay, they're saying that you stated infrastructure needs to be in place before the council allows more development. And they're asking, does that mean that you're going to increase taxes for people to pay for these things?
Well, we're not going to, we already got all these building plans coming through. It's going to be going on years down the road. As we're dealing with that and trying to improve our infrastructure, we need to, before we start going any future projects, we need to really work to pull our infrastructure up to speed.
Okay. Okay, we've got this is also on the subject of traffic for Scott Mann. Part of your campaign promise in 2012 was to expedite the building of the Holland Road overpass. Later, you admitted the project won't happen right away. Why did you make that promise if it was obvious the bridge couldn't be built soon?
And it wasn't obvious to me that the bridge wouldn't be built soon, because when I was on the inaugural council and a member of the WRCOG, I helped get the Holland Road overpass on the county transportation improvement plan. And when I left the council and came back on the campaign trail for mayor, I hadn't realized that the council, between me being there and now, kind of let the ball drop. It got no focus, it got no legs, it got no funding, it got no support in the Public Works Tactical Action Committee and the COG. It got no support from the city manager committee on the COG, and so it was I'm not going to say it was a mistake, but it was a big disappointment to know that it hadn't been moved forward. And so we've got it on our capital improvement plan. It's scheduled to go to construction in 2016. We've already got the planning, engineering work, the bid proposal done. What's holding it up is the environmental impact study in the state of California.
Okay, thank you.